ready to receive.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sunball Saturday. We're welcome to the evening organizer right on the kickoff. Starting off our day here at East Rugby Union here at Gridiron Qld is youth showcase. Whether you're here live or whether you'll be tuning in the stream at some point throughout the day. Enjoy today's
Huddle! Everyone huddle!
Premier football ahead of you today.
Huddle! Hey, Bears, huddle! Banners on me, banners on three. 1, 2, 3. Kick and turn. You're in the middle.
Left speaker, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Ravens, Rhinos, Bears, Stingrays, let the youth showcase begin.
No, that's fine, yeah. Just worries. That, as long as that's plugged in, that's important. Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the live stream, allow me to welcome you to Sun Bowl Saturday 2021. Wherever you are joining us, strap in for the next 10 hours of Gridiron Queensland action as the Sun Bowl returns to East Rugby Union for the first time since 2008. Today's action will be kicked off by the Gridiron Queensland Youth Division, which you're seeing on your screen right now, who are sure to showcase the future of Gridiron Queensland. I'm Kenny Andres here to talk you through all of today's action, and I'm first this morning joined by Ravens Youth Assistant, current Play Flag Brisbane founder and former Bear, Bartholomew Foley. How you doing this morning, mate?
Fantastic, mate. Thanks for having me. It's already been a bit of action so far, a bit of a turnover there by the Ravens. So we're looking forward to seeing how they can push it into the end zone.
Yeah, a bit of catch up here. We're a little far behind there because we had a little more setup to do with the late addition of adding the youth showcase to the stream. But yes, we had 4 clubs initially playing and competing in the youth division, which has been operating almost every fortnight. Here we go, a nice big run here. Tackled by beautiful, equally good tackle just outside the 20 there. But yes, 4 teams, the Rhinos, the Ravens, the Gold Coast Stingrays, and the Logan City Bears, or Cubs as they're known as. They were competing, what was it, every fortnight or thereabouts?
Every week, yeah, every week. They've been competing on Sundays.
On Sundays, usually the day after. Across the field, usually you'd have all the teams playing at the same time. It was a wonderful sight to see. For those who tuned in, I think it was week 6, went down to Mitchelton, covered the day there. So it was non-stop action between all these teams. But with coming towards the end of the season and with the development, continuing to grow, and as well as the numbers sort of forming to be a little more conducive to just combining the 2 or the 4 teams, really, we've ended up having an amalgamation of the 4 teams into 2 teams, to which we have called the Ravens, convenient for the Ravens, with the Stingrays and the Bayside Ravens, and the Bear Nose.
Bear Nose.
The Bear Nose, the Logan City Bear contingent combining with the Brisbane City Rhinos. A bit of an issue with the snap, well picked up here, and making the best of it now, the number 98. Who is
Geordie.
that, Bart?
That is Geordie. That's his second game here at quarterback. Made a play out of nothing there, thankfully. Got the ball and took it about an 8-yard run.
We might take a look at that again there. A bit of Mr. Fix-It action here in the Youth Showcase. Coming to you live from East Rugby Union Norman Park, the home of the 2021 Sun Bowl Championship. And look, there was one thing that I really noticed and was really impressed with when I came down in week 6, I believe, to cover that. It was the quality of snaps. I've watched obviously a lot of junior football, women's football, men's football, senior football. And just getting clean snaps is harder than you'd think. Well, the juniors had close to like 80% success rate.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a bit troublesome on the first week, but come to week 6, it's been an improvement over that time. We have a run to the right side for a first down. The Ravens picking up the first down on that play. Didn't see who caught the ball or who ran the ball there, but may well have been number 39, Fergus from the Ravens. Fresh set of downs here for the Ravens. Coach Hammer in there calling the plays, looking to punch it in from about 12 yards out or 11 yards out.
Yes, indeed. Craig, he'll be competing. He's double dutying today, I believe, the Hammer, playing in the Ghost game to follow this one.
Something he's very excited about, no doubt.
Oh, of course, he
Put on the helmet.
Plenty of stories to regale, I'm sure.
No doubt the trash talk from his end will be high quality.
Rumour has it the Hammer is a self-appointed nickname.
Well, the rumour I can confirm is true, mostly by corroboration and not directly from the source.
We'll have to try and source that maybe throughout the course of the day. The Ravens here, change at quarterback. And I might have put the mocker on them there. We've had a couple of bad snaps since we've gone live. And for those who might be watching this in post, we are having a few audio issues, so bear with us. We are sorting that out on the fly. But
in the defence of the quarterback, the past 2 snaps, in defence of the snapper rather, the quarterback has dropped those 2 snaps. I would call them high quality snaps, but a bit of nervousness perhaps.
Of course, being on the big stage and, having a few extra people watching. I also say that it's probably a challenge for some of the kids waking up a little early
Yep.
start for the Sun Bowl.
I will not name the player on the Raven squad, but he has confirmed to me that he slept approximately 0 hours last night. So if you at home can figure out who that player is, do chime in.
Another snap here, and look at the run game going here by the Ravens. How about the leg drive?
Full steam ahead.
And
he's still going.
Well, he's gotten back at least to the original line of scrimmage and then bettered that by 4 yards.
What we noticed in previous weeks is the referees were calling the whistle relatively early, but we have some new officials here who are letting the boys play, as it were.
And girls.
And girls, that's correct. Yeah, we got a couple of girls, in fact, on the Bear squad. Mm-hmm. But they're letting them play, letting them run through, and hopefully that will. No one will be injured.
Yes, indeed. Now, talk us through here, the age group for the youth division, 10 to 13?
10 to 13, that's correct. Now, there are some rare exceptions in the case of what we call dispensation for some 14-year-olds to be able to play. So that is the exception to the rule, but 14-year-olds who are determined to be not too large or not too fast to play are also allowed to play. But the vast majority of them are indeed 10 to 13 years old.
Here we go. Purple and Columbia blue. The Ravens currently knocking on the door of adding today's first score in the youth showcase. A nice run here.
Leg drive.
Breaking through tackles, both upper body and lower body. Getting some push there, though. Good job by the Bearnos. Stopped the runner just a couple yards, if not a yard short of 6-point territory. And I'm going to take a look at that again in between plays here there, Bob.
Let's have a look. Number 24, running with the ball, is able to avoid the tackle from number 4, avoid a second tackle and make his way, finally stopped by a full team effort, 2 yards out. Now, great play. Number 24 has been running amok all season. Very speedy, very strong, no doubt. And the size difference you can really notice at this age.
I do apologise. I think I did interview that young man back in Mitchelton there. A few names escaped me. Haven't been able to prep for this game as much as I would like, but he is no.
Cool. Oh, here we go.
Quarterback keeper
on left
out to
side.
the
Oh, he's got
left-hand
some
side.
space.
And there it is. The first touchdown of today's showcase comes to the Stingrays, number 28.
Again, highly athletic player, number 28. See it on the replay here. Direct snap to the quarterback, and he's just got the burners on. Unfortunately, number 4 cannot create that outside contain, and he runs it in left side of the end zone.
Of course, for me, it's interesting seeing nine-a-side football again for the first time this season. Of course, with the junior division, not to be confused with the former junior division of the 14, the 14 to 16-year-old bracket,
yeah,
as it once was. But the juniors, formerly known as Colts, formerly known as juniors division, moving to 11-a-side this season. So the youth showcase is the only representation of nine-a-side football in 2021.
And you'll find that a lot of these kids are pretty unfamiliar with that format. In fact, this may well be, I think this is only their second game in the nine-a-side format. So it's quite different, actually. Here we go, Bailey, back of the end zone.
Beautiful
What a grab.
catch by
Major
the young
confidence
man. Now, talk to me about this gentleman here, Bailey. I saw him running some crisp routes back in Mitchelton there. Obviously, possibly up there as one of the smallest players in this youth showcase.
Absolutely.
But certainly not afraid to look after and get after the ball.
Yep, smallest, but also one of the fastest, there is no doubt. He is a real confidence player, though, so I know having made that catch, he'll be all guns a-blazing, and hopefully really look out for him on the kickoff and kick return come the second half. He's been gunning all week to be that kick returner. So he's a real fast player, great in space, and was able to make that catch there.
And the 28. How about the vision from him as well? Knew who he wanted to throw to the entire time. Usually you don't encourage staring him down, but when you get a receiver getting open in the back of the end zone, can't fault that.
And he was open. Good route, good speed by Bailey. Can lose the small man in the back of the end zone, just hidden in that shady bit, just down the back of the end zone.
So there's a 2-point conversion added there by Bailey. And no, we throwing this back. Let me try to think about this. 2006, I believe, back when the junior division didn't have kickoffs, and they would just get the ball on their own 20. In the youth showcase, that is the case. Of course, punting is still going to be part of today's game, though, but no kickoffs.
I've been led to believe that punting is not going to be part of today's game, unfortunately. Probably just due to lack of preparation. Oh, Patrick there on helping the tackle and finished off by Kalen. Very nice. Oh no, that's Reed. Oh, out of nowhere. Rocks up just a little late, but good to see Reed back out there on the pitch.
Reed Tulloch, I believe.
That is indeed correct.
Yeah, the son of Rob and Coach Lon Tulloch.
Well known to not give up on the play is Reeds. Always chase him down. Been a real stalwart of our defensive line this season. So we'll see here on the replay. Hand off to the running back. And we have the initial stop here by Patrick, who wraps him up for Reed to finish him off.
And we'll give a shout out specifically to the Gold Coast Stingrays, probably the largest contingent of the youth program. At one point, you think I think they pretty much were running 2 teams and then absorbing players as they went. It's such a wonderful representation of the strong program boasted by the Gold Coast region, and that flows directly straight into their junior divisions as well. And we'll certainly see a healthy sideline this afternoon.
Oh,
Junior
Reed
Sun Bowl.
with a big
Wow,
tackle.
big force fumble and recovered by
Who's
the
on?
Bearnos. But he may be a little bit late, but he is quick on the action.
That wasn't something. He was just unblocked there, came through and made the big hit on the QB, I think it was, or the running back, to dislodge the ball. Here the fake reverse, and then, oh my good, just unblocks, comes in and knocks that ball free. That would be a real confidence booster for him. He loves playing D-line. That's his favourite spot.
Yeah, no surprise what Tolek doesn't. Third down and a long here, and obviously third and longs can be very difficult the younger the division goes, just because passing development is it's a fine art. It takes a long time to develop. But that being said, it's also nine-a-side football where there's a lot of green to work with.
Yep, full field here today, which they are completely unfamiliar with. Oh, here we go, Reed again.
Oh.
Absolutely dominating.
Back-to-back plays there, Reed Tulloch.
No doubt he will be telling us about that at halftime and at full time.
And probably throughout the rest of the day, one would suggest. But looking very junior ready, Reed Tulloch. Happen to know the age of him?
I would hazard a guess at 13, but I don't know for sure. He did play last season, so he isn't 10.
Yeah.
Doesn't look 10. But very, very strong player. Certainly, I would agree with that.
But basically, looking junior ready, looking
Yep,
to make that
absolutely.
jump. I would go ahead and put on record. And obviously, the Bayside Ravens hoping to get a program in. It was disheartening as a former junior Raven there to not see a junior Raven team represented this season for the first time in history.
Yeah, we
Or
just
Ravens
just a few short, I'd say, this season. With the 11 aside, changed to 11 aside, we just didn't have the numbers. I think we needed somewhere near 22, and we had somewhere near 13.
Once upon a time in the nine-a-side days, 13 would be enough. And this is, I think,
Number
this is
18,
Jet,
Jet.
isn't it? Jet.
And Jet is a
Jet
goer.
Fund.
Oh my goodness, with the first down. Jet
big-
has been an absolute asset for the Rhinos all season long. He is without a doubt the highest flyer and one of the speediest players on the Rhinos offense. He will just go up and get the ball. Look for him to make some startling catches throughout the game.
Memory serves correctly, I interviewed him at the week 6 round matchup, and he was junior ready as well. Will be aging out of youth after this year, and I'll tell you what, I can see him, particularly with the way that the Rhinos offense, even in the junior division, like to use their speedy players on the edges. I think he'll fit in just fine.
Absolutely. Has the balance of Alvin Kamara almost, as he's trying to get taken out of bounds there. A real athlete, that number 18, Jet.
First down here for the Bear Nose. A handoff. Here goes number 7.
Oh, Reed again. Oh, can't finish him off, but he's
Good
down.
broken tackle there. Excellent running there from the Bears player. I'm going to see if I can go back through some of my old notes here and see if I can't bring up the team list given to me all the way back middle of the season. But yeah, the Bear Nose Logan City Cubs. That's along with the Gold Coast Stingrays. Two of the clubs that have worked really hard in that lower age group, I should say. They, back when we had what we would now know as youth, was the Pee Wee division between Gold Coast and Logan. Both those two clubs worked really, really hard to
And
cultivate that age group.
Yeah, and the whole attitude across the league has been an incredibly positive one this season. We've had a lot of collaboration. We had some injuries in week 1, and we've since then tried to do a lot of different group warm-ups and group activities to get the kids to know each other and get a bit more familiarised. And we've seen a reduction in that over that time. We just have a timeout on the field, so this may well be a drinks break.
It is getting pretty warm here, and I'll use this
I'm not sure
opportunity.
exactly, but it was a timeout in the field. But perhaps it's a little extended. We have a replay here of number 7 running to the right side, and is eventually tackled just shy of the 40-yard line. Let's see if the Bears and Rhinos are able to get the ball moving this half, get past halfway. They weren't able to finish off the last drive they had, just had an unfortunate fumble, but they've got a talented squad, and that number 7 is an absolute wrecking ball. Look for him to make some plays as we go throughout the game. Now, it looks like the timeout is quite an extended one here, Kenny.
It might have been end of quarter, I'm thinking, actually.
Good water break on an extremely warm day. I saw the temperature. It was listed at 26, which is wildly inaccurate.
Yeah,
Feels like 32, I would say, especially out in the sun. Now, we're luckily in the shade, but take a moment to think about the parents who are...
Particularly on the far sideline. We have got a few tents set up, unfortunately. Well, right now, all the parents have retreated to the highest
shady-
of the grandstands.
Smart folks. They figured it out pretty quick.
But that sun's only going to lower as the day goes on, so we'll see how the crowd merges.
hopefully the heat will abate. We have approximately 0 cloud cover today, so no respite. But looks like we're kicking off action here again with number 3 from the Rhinos.
Taking it
with
himself.
the run. Oh, great tackle there by Patrick with a 1-yard gain on the play. We have number 3 for the Rhinos is Luke James, who is getting up a little lame there, but looks like he's staying in the game. Should hopefully be able to make something happen here on 3rd down and relatively short. Looks about 3 or 4 yards as the Stingrays have some substitutions. Stingrays usually boast a team of about 30 or 40 and have substituted both the Rhinos and the Ravens throughout the season. Today have a slightly smaller contingent, which is probably good for playing time. It's a bit of a long journey out for a 7:45 a.m. start. Oh, here we go. Play. Oh, bit of a confusion on the handoff. Number 28 has it though, and he is fighting forward, but stops just 2 yards shy of the 1st down. Number 28 is Luke Lord for the Rhinos. Another timeout, so we could see the delay on the field after this timeout. On the replay here, just slight confusion as Luke gets the ball, and great swarming defense there, mostly by the Stingrays players, whose names unfortunately do escape me, but a high quality list of incredibly athletic players. Just a very, very strong team across the park. Arguably the strongest side that we've seen this season. A season which has unfortunately been shortened a touch by bad weather. But it looks like Kenny has the team list.
Has been a run, and I'm hoping the team list, the jerseys haven't changed since mid-season. I've got all the lists I got acquired back then, but yes, hasn't rain played havoc not only with the youth division, but all the divisions across Gridiron Queensland? At least 2 weeks, I think, washed out. Maybe even technically 2.5, I think.
And every training session in between, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's definitely going to be a topic of conversation through, particularly the men's division there, or really both teams there. But I know for a fact the Ravens had to get very creative about how they train. They booked out a bunch of indoor facilities. The Gold Coast Stingrays juniors booked out a facility last night for one last walkthrough.
Goodness me. 4th
down here for the Bearnos.
Oh, direct snap with the run. Oh, left side, great tackle. It is hard to beat the Stingrays players to the outside. They are a very athletic bunch.
Luke Lord there trying to make something happen, but a great stop there from the largely Gold Coast front 5 there. So the score remains the Ravens 8-0 here. The replay again of that 4th down stop.
Now, interesting, Kenny. It looks like they're taking the ball over at the point at which it was turned over rather than returning to the 20-yard line, which is the traditional way the youth game is played. It looks like they're taking over at the loss of down spot, which means the field is extremely short, 36 yards to score from here.
Indeed, yeah, there's always a bunch of different variations you can play, and we've seen it all across, particularly the junior division, both when it's been 9-a-side, 7-a-side even, where as soon as there was turnover, you would return all the way back to your own 20. Obviously, that can change. It's a showcase, so they're just playing it by ear. We've also got a lot of the officials, I believe. This is the first time they're experienced the youth division this season.
I would dare say that's right. Yeah, we've had volunteers from each club contributing the referee spots. So usually men's players, in fact. From various divisions. Here on 1st down, Geordie under centre, hands the ball off to 24, missed a wrecking ball. Oh, he's got some space, and some willing defenders come to meet him, but he is hard to take down.
That's Elijah Rivers, I believe.
Elijah Rivers.
Getting in on the carry there, and the tackle on the play made by, I was getting the name Renee sent, but just confirming between our multitude of team list here. I think that was Levi Hendy making the tackle for the Rhinos.
Well, I dare say the plan may be just to hand it off to Eli, Mr. Rivers, on the play again, because he has been largely unstoppable. He does have quite a size advantage over some of these other players, which is quite prominent at this age group. A year's difference or just a difference in the age at which they mature has a real big effect on the field.
Who's this, the quarterback?
This is Geordie from the Ravens. This is his second game here at quarterback. Takes the handoff. It's got a bit of time. Fires it up. Where's it going? Oh, it's intercepted.
Intercepted.
And it looks like they can return.
They can return, and that was something that was, I saw a fair bit of that in the crossfield format there, and these players certainly love getting their opportunity to try and grab 6 if they can snake the ball away.
Absolutely. Now in the 7-a-side game, the interceptions cannot be returned, so you would see some confusion by some of the players by seeing your opponent running back the other way, but luckily they didn't muck around for too long and got straight to the ball.
Confirming the intercept there made by Kobe Kenner. And I believe that was the gentleman who made a really good run across the right hand or the near side of the field here prior to that last big lengthy break in play.
Big opportunity here for the Rhinos after being put a bit under the pump over this first half. See how they are able to respond, see if they can drive it down the field and get on the board for the first time.
First down here at quarterback, I believe staying at quarterback there will be Luke Lord. And in the backfield joining him is Skylar Miles.
I dare say he'll be looking number 18 Jets way. No, but it's a direct handoff. Number 7 out there leading the block. Oh, great tackle.
Oh,
fumble.
And will be
Patrick on the recovery.
By the Ravens player there.
Patrick's been a real asset. This is only his second week, I believe, of actually playing, but comes from a background playing rugby 7 days a week. And no doubt the rain has hit him hardest, going from 7 days a week of rugby to 0 days a week for about 3 weeks in a row.
His body wouldn't know what to do with it.
Exactly, and I think you're absolutely right there, Kenny.
He swapped his number over there. I believe Reed was initially wearing the 52, and he's now changed over to 29.
Yep, 29 today.
Vacating 52 for Patrick there.
See the direct snap here on the replay, and a great trailing tackle, and is able to, Patrick there. Smart player, just knows and understands body and time and space, and just gets on the ball, knows how to make a play, does Patrick.
As we let the play run behind us there, talk us through the development of the youth division throughout the season. Starting from the very first starting experience for a lot of these players to now there, was there a bit of a pre-season to sort of get the skills ready before they started competing?
They certainly trained in the pre-season, and the pre-season was relatively extended, I'd say somewhere between 8 to 10 weeks. Now, week 1 on the field was certainly a little slower, a little more confused, but, here we go, unfortunately a fumble on the play. He's 24 in space, Eli Rivers running down the right side. He's going to be a load to stop. What a tackle! Goodness me. Who was that? That is Mateo from the Bears. He is one of the more undersized, but one of the most aggressive players and an absolutely fierce tackler. Credit to Mateo for taking him down in open space.
And we'll take a look at that again on replay there. It was a wonderful run there from Rivers. As I said, a wonderful tackle there. Crediting to
out of nothing. Mateo there with a textbook tackle running out.
Misa?
Running down the running back. Just to return to what you were saying, Kenny. Massive development between week 1 and 2 in the youth season.
And we'll get back to that in a second here. Second down now at quarterback. The 15. This is Jackson Guyler. Another low snap. This is picked up now by the 7 and Thomas Fernandez.
Great form tackle.
He can't get over. And Fernandez takes the ball down there in second down. The Rhinos defense has been rather impressive. Obviously, they've allowed that one touchdown early in the first quarter there, but outside of that, their red zone defense has actually been rather stifling.
Extremely impressive, I would say, considering that the youth game throughout the season has been a high-scoring affair. Lots of learning how to tackle, especially with pads and helmet. This defense has been really impressive, frankly, and I think that's credit to. It's partly the Niners side. It's also just a credit to the coaches from both teams and able to put together a squad out of the Bears and the Rhinos.
Continuing at quarterback is Jackson Guyler. And joining him in the backfield now for the Ravens.
That is Fergus. See if Fergus takes the handoff here, or we have a bit of motion.
That'll be a late addition, we'll see. It's going to be a pass. Looking
Bit of confusion
downfield,
there,
he's got
fires it
someone
up.
open, but only finds some green grass there on second down, bringing up third.
Slight nervousness, slight confusion there, but luckily the ball went to ground for the Ravens. You can see our stream clock says all zeros on the half time.
Just had the 2-minute warning just to play.
Is that right? There we go.
So yeah,
Very exciting.
I think
Pressure's on, see if they can pump it in here.
it's a learning experience for everyone today, including our officials who are jumping on the keys for the very first time with our stream scoring system. So there'll be a few errors here and there, but hopefully cleaned up by our senior and junior games this afternoon and evening. But yes, just inside the 2-minute warning now of the first half of the 2021 Gridiron Queensland Youth Showcase.
Fergus here on the
Handoff
handoff up the
Fergus.
middle.
Oh,
Just
and in
shy.
short. Here by the Ravens running back Fergus, and they'll have a couple of inches to go. We'll take another quick look at that here. 4th down up ahead of us.
Number 15 here is going to take the snap and hand it off left side up the middle to Fergus, who's able to avoid the first defender, but unfortunately is tripped up and hits the 1-yard line.
Thought he was going to stretch out there and add the tutty here. Let's see if they just give it straight back to him to try and...
Well, if anyone's going to stretch out Fergus with his long limbs,
You'd think so.
I'd back him.
Whoa, look at this empty backfield.
Putting it all on the QB here. See what we can come up with, unless we see some reverse play. Oh, it's a direct snap. Oh no, he's going to be tackled well shy.
Kenner eventually being the guy to take the quarterback and Guyler down, and that will be a big 4th down stop here from the Bearnos.
Incredible Bearnos defense. They are really very, very impressive. They are keeping their team in the game here. There is no doubt, Kenny.
Indeed they are. The contingent of the Logan City Bears, formerly known as the Cubs, and the Brisbane City Rhinos, trailing the Ravens. Amalgamation of the Bayside Ravens and the Gold Coast Stingrays. Who would ever thought that would have happened?
A marriage of great teams, no doubt,
Indeed.
on both sides, frankly.
Indeed, indeed. So, 8 of the 9 players, no, sorry, check that. 7 of the 9 players on defense at the moment. Currently, Gold Coast Stingrays, 2 Ravens on there. That would be Reed Tulloch and the man we're at 52, and Patrick. We've got Patrick's last name.
Patrick is, yes, Mr. Second Game Patrick.
Mr. Patrick, second game. I believe it's a French last name.
That's a French last name. Yeah, his English is fantastic though. Second generation at least.
Second down. Oh, sorry, first down.
First
My
down, yeah.
apologies.
For anyone curious, they are keeping score on the scoreboard here at the East's Juniors.
Traditionally not the case.
Handoff. Oh no, we might. Oh, we have a fumble. Is he going to pick it up in advance? Oh my goodness.
And it squirts out again.
Who's got it?
We're going to have to figure out who's actually recovered this. I see a Gold Coast Stingrays player
Stingrays.
picking it up. We might see a touchdown, or are they going to call this a safety?
Good question. Referees are in discussion. I would have guessed it's a touchdown, but perhaps there's no ability to advance it from the point at which it was fumbled.
We're inside the 2-minute warning, so
right, of course.
yeah, depending on which rules we're going by.
Yeah, and with no exact knowledge of how much longer is left, this could be a key play. Here we have it on the replay. Again, just a bit of oh, yep, tries to do the handoff, unfortunately.
I think they're also trying to figure out if that's technically a forward pass.
It may well be an illegal forward pass. In which case we have... Or no, it wouldn't be an illegal forward pass. It would be a legal forward pass.
And therefore incomplete.
Indeed. Goodness gracious, I would never have imagined this.
So because the receiver is in front of him, that should be an incomplete pass.
Interesting. Well, it will be up to the referees to determine. I do not believe they have the privilege of this replay system unless they run rapidly towards us. So we'll see what the call on the field is. Big moment in this game, though, if they determine that as a forward pass. Referees still in discussion, but two teams still appear to be the offense and the defense. Offense from the Bearnos and the defense from the Ravens. So perhaps the coaches are a little bit, well, perhaps the Ravens are not quite as optimistic, and the Bearnos are quite optimistic about their chances here. This is in fact, without a doubt, the longest discussion between
I was about
officials.
to say, usually,
all season long. Yeah.
Usually, you've had a lot, as you said, a lot of men's players jumping in as officiating, and let's just say it's a slightly more she'll be right attitude towards some of the decisions I would have to.
And a decision like Judge Judy is final, but we will see. Now, do you know the names of the officials here?
Yeah, we've got a couple that I recognise. Is that Bob on the far side?
May well be Bob. Bob, refereeing for at least the duration of the time that I have been associated with Gridiron Queensland, which is near on 13 years. Good to see Bob still out in there in the action.
Still one of the best, one of the most decorated as well.
Absolutely.
And actually, I've got to the officials here.
We have a curious 3 official huddle with 1 official standing on the outsides, holding the ball. If only we were a fly on the wall in the discussion, we would be so curious to find out what their thoughts are.
Well, the joy is, because we do have the officials on the PA system today, we'll find out the actual answer, unlike some regular season games where I'm sort of left guessing, but it is what it is. This is Harley Johnston as a white hat referee today. Pat Humphreys as well.
Alrighty, it looks like they're about to... Oh, wow. What a moment. Cut back and half time.
Nevertheless, that is half time here in our 2021 Youth Showcase here on Sun Bowl Saturday. Sun Bowl 37. We're well and truly in motion here in December 2021. Kenny Andres, Bart Foley talk you through the action of the Youth Showcase here in the second half after this break.
We're putting in a petition. Oh yeah, the traditional warm-up.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, half time is over here in the 2021 Gridiron Queensland Youth Showcase here, and the Rhinos currently trail the Ravens 8-0 here. Now, I'm reading between the lines here, but from my understanding, I think we're about to see a bit of history happen here in the youth division. I think we're lining up for our very first kickoff.
Very exciting, yeah. We'll see how far and how deep it goes, and if there's any return at all. We've had about 2 weeks of practice on the kick returns and kickoffs. So
setting up some equipment earlier at the start of kickoff for this game. Was there a kickoff to start?
I believe there was a kickoff to start the game. It did land at approximately halfway, or 15 yards from where the ball is spotted. So we'll see if we can improve upon that at least. No doubt. Especially if you line up the laces where you're about to kick it. That does seem slightly unwise, but you learn the hard way.
Let's see, left or right? Which one are you
I'm saying along the ground, Kenny, is what I'm going to guess.
That's not youth football. I don't know what better picture paints it.
Number 7 is an athlete, though, so we'll see what he goes for. Oh, he goes onside!
This is intended, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
It doesn't go the needed 10 yards. Yeah, the intention was there, and also some method to the madness of the laces inside. So all that kick-off practice, kick-return practice.
On a positive note, the Bears player did get on the ball rather quickly, but unfortunately 6 yards shy of what would have been a legal onside kick. Oh, we have... I think we may just well have missed the replay there, but... Oh no, here we go. A replay of the first commentated youth kickoff, and we have a clean onside recovery, just not at the legal distance, unfortunately.
Jumping on that, making the kick, I should say, was Cody Kenner. He's having a pretty good afternoon, if you ask me.
I would agree with that, Kenny. He's been an absolute weapon all season long, and we'll look to continue by playing safety, it looks like here.
The score line here to start our second half. Look at that. Trying to figure out who number 40 is. That 44?
44, yeah. Tall timber, Mr. 44.
Xavier Hodge. Probably I would have to say up there for the tallest player in the youth division.
I think I can corroborate that and say he's the tallest. Playing D-line all season long. Hammer and team are able to break the huddle. And
looks like Rivers is returning in that backfield here for the Ravens. And also a change of quarterback.
We have an unlikely to throw quarterback, more like, oh no, I eat my words.
Full of you, and on top of that, almost a completion there. The pass incomplete. Parker Spies out there to the wide receiver, and Thomas Fernandez incomplete. Second down upcoming.
Unfortunately, a touch overthrown, but 28, whose name is Parker Spies. Absolute arm on him, there's no doubt about it, and he does chuck it up to his favourite target down the left side there. Very, very talented. Certainly the strongest arm, arguably in the league.
I was about to say that was just shy of a 30-yard airtime pass right there. So
also a real running threat, so we'll see what he does on second down here.
Spies again here on second down. They're going to air the ball out, pretty much go to the exact same play, but this time almost an intercept getting under that Levi Hendy. Unfortunately, ball hit the face mask, but not enough hands.
Shades of David Tyree there for a moment, but couldn't quite nail that helmet catch.
I don't think Levi's arms are quite grown enough there to match the David Tyree helmet catch.
I think the proportions are a little off, more bobblehead style than adult NFL player, but a good effort and good positioning nonetheless.
Indeed, indeed. And when you obviously look in plays and whether they can make the jump, that sort of positioning is, really what you want to judge there. You don't want to judge the drop there because, as I said, you're factoring a lot of things, certain things that certain players can't help at that age. But you appreciate what you can appreciate, which is his positioning.
And he certainly would have had no experience catching the ball at that length.
Rivers breaking tackles again. What else is new? But unstoppable force meets a movable object there. Kenner with a strong tackle just inside the 30.
Those two will absolutely love that. That's what some of these boys just get up for, just that heavy contact. Number 7 coming in for the Bears, able to secure it. Young Kobe there, showing he is the immovable object of the two.
Man,
after the Eli Rivers.
Key third down stop here. Not that field goals are something we'll even consider here in the youth division, but 4th down ahead of them now.
Unfortunately, there are no onside field goals, Kenny, so...
Not with that attitude. They'll need about a long 3 yards here to keep this drive moving. If not, the Rhinos defense stands tall once more. Completion here, Spies. Nice catch there by the target and the 1st down throw.
One of his favourite targets. Fernandez, yeah, that's a Stingrays connection that goes back many a week, and a real NFL style rollout or college style rollout and hitting the flat there. Very impressive play. Yeah, clearly they've practiced that before.
Yeah, they play a bit roughed up here on the back, and then for the Rhinos, it's Skylar Miles, who's younger brother of Nate Ashton Miles, who will be playing in the men's Sun Bowl later today.
Good name drop there.
So replay on our screen of that last play, the rollout. Break us through that rollout you were just discussing.
We got Eli here on the rollout. No pressure coming in. Well designed play, and just hits his man in the flat to the right hand side there.
Just ask Jared Stegman. You can get a lot of production out of hitting the flat off the rollout.
No doubt Jared will be proud of that play. Looking to swipe him up for one of his next OzQB camps, perhaps.
Oh, they might be on a bit of a hiatus with the man heading is it to Istanbul?
That is right, yeah. Turkey, Istanbul. Very exciting news. Sometime early to middle of next year.
I think Jared's always taking exception to the nickname I dubbed him as the football mercenary. But he's out for another assignment. This time heading to Eastern Europe.
No doubt that is part of his personality. He likes to get around, does young Stegman.
He's not all that young anymore, is he?
Well, that's another nickname that I've given him, young Stegman. I think that's another one of the self-appointed names that he's given to himself.
1st down and 10. And back at quarterback. Change of quarterback, shall I say?
Oh.
The pass almost completed to Hernandez.
Goes to ground.
And couldn't quite bring in a valiant effort nevertheless.
Geordie there on the rollout run and toss it up. Last time that was an interception. This time it was a very, very hard catch to make in the back of the end zone, or in the middle of the end zone. Couldn't quite wrap it up.
Just looking at the coaches here on the Rhinos sideline. Got the combination there of Mark Volmer and also Nicole Agarwal, and also Lara Boll representing the Bears there. And she'll be looking to hopefully get back into some football next year with touch wood. The women's competition coming back in 2022.
No doubt a hard loss for the Ravens girls, who I saw participating in the preseason training, and the rest of the girls are involved in that.
2nd down, hand off to Rivers. Rivers with too much space, but an equally great tackle. Those two are going to go at it all second half, I think.
And they are loving it. Absolutely loving it.
It's going to be a fun matchup here for the rest of this second half.
See here again on the replay, the handoff to Eli Rivers, who runs left side and is great with a great chopping tackle. There by the 7 from the Rhinos. Kenna leaving us with a short 3rd down attempt here.
And especially if the junior division stays at 11 aside next year, and I'm going to guess that Kenna, at worst, has only maybe only one more youth division year left in him, if not even making the graduate.
It certainly looks mature-aged, pushing that 13.
I can see him filling out like a weak side linebacker position and just flowing to the ball.
Absolutely loves a good tackle, it seems. He's willing, ready and able to get in there. We have 3rd down.
Here it is. Low snap, but handled nicely there from Geordie. A handoff here to
young Josh. Wow, there you go. Big
solid
hit.
Tackle. He's making some highlights here. Another one there, Cody Kenner.
Cody just really taking over this defense, although it does look like we have a 1st down pickup on the run by Josh, who is, whilst undersized, one of the more fearless players that you'll find on the field, as you must need to be as a slightly undersized running back. Quiet kid is young Josh, but as you can see on the replay, not afraid to run headfirst into contact as he runs it up the middle there.
Joshua Clare, is it?
It's not Joshua Clare. It's Joshua Potts, in fact. But great tackle there by Cody McKenna. Great grab and wrap and throw him to the ground. We have Hammer's huddle finally breaking as Geordie returns to QB. We have a fumbled snap, but Geordie is on the direct run and is able to find space left side for the touchdown. Great play out of nothing by Geordie there.
There it is. Both quarterbacks now scoring here for the Ravens there, and Bart Foley making his touchdown call debut. There it is. Fitz gets one for the highlight reel, but
Could
there
not
it is.
help myself. I'm terribly sorry, Kenny. I'll leave the rest to you.
No,
Don't you
that's all
worry.
right. I'm desperately trying to get some surnames so I can be calling these players correctly there. But how about the old quarterback keeper? It's such a key play in youth football and also nine-a-side football.
Absolutely. Certainly in my time as when I coached the offense, it was QB keeper or hand it off. This passing offense, whilst dynamic at the best of times, is hit and miss at the worst. So Geordie there making a real play out of nothing, you know. That may well have been a design play, but certainly found the space and used his speed, one of his real assets.
Trying to see if we had Jordan's last name here, but one last name I do have, and is saying that very often, is Eli Rivers. Adds a 2-point conversion there, so that's going to be a 16-point lead here for the Ravens. 16-0 as our scoreboard updates.
And I do not, you can easily forgive the bare-nosed players for parting like the Red Sea there for Eli Rivers. Full steam ahead, 2 yards out. No doubt, quite a sight to come running towards you, but I'd give a bit of credit to the offensive line for creating that hole for him there too.
And that's one of those things that is probably one of the hardest things to learn, and really it takes a full season before you start doing that correctly. Is, I mean, we see it in junior and senior football as is, where they have a full preseason to learn how to block there, and that development takes its time. Obviously, you know, maybe not as much dedicated time learning for that, you know, with time factors you do have in the youth division there.
Not just time as well, it's also the fact that just having a number of players to have a offense and defensive side, you know, when you have trying to put together a team of 7 aside and you don't have 14 players, it's hard to run those face-to-face scrimmages and get those offensive versus defensive aligned experience that you need coming into these seasons. But teams like the Stingrays will have had rich experience there, with having had almost up to 40 players at some points throughout the season. So we'll have had plenty of experience of training, no doubt, in those trenches, as we have coach giving advice to the running back on first down. Oh, we have a backwards pass, which is incomplete.
I'm going to say that was a generous call.
It's a generous call.
From White Hat Johnston there. Just,
no doubt part of the rule book, Kenny. The youth 11-a-side game has been given some
lenience?
Yeah, some lenience, certainly. And in fact, I believe the rules for this game were drawn up in the past fortnight, given the sort of peculiar circumstances of the game.
At the end of the day, you do got to remember it is a showcase,
Absolutely.
not a grand final as such. So,
and I would say that in that circumstance, you can understand why they would not want play to continue at that point. There have been some injuries throughout the season as kids try to jump on fumbles. So probably part of the rules, it was designed there to just call the whistle.
3 down the lineman here for the Ravens. A scramble out here and a pass intention here, but is picked off by one of the Ravens players. Returns it all the way for 6. Fantastic play defensively made there by the 71. That is Michael Welland.
Michael with an incredible return there down the left sideline. Unfortunately, the QB did go down in the play and was unable to help on the defense. He is now returned to his feet, so that is a good sign. But young fella just speeding it down the sideline. Absolute weapon on defense. As you can see here on replay, quarterback rolling out to the right side, just puts it up there, and he's able to take the interception, and with a bit of free space.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Just checking that my microphone here is back in action.
We have, as players return to the field for the 2-point conversion, we may well have an injury timeout. No, it appears that we are returning to action on, slowly but surely, returning to action here. Score is now 22-0 to the Ravens. And is this the 2-point conversion, or did we miss that? I can't say. I believe this is the 2-point conversion, considering they are about 2 yards out from the end zone. So a slightly different lineup here on offense. Number 44 for the Stingrays, or the Ravens, is usually a quarterback, but looks like he's about to go in at center. No, in at right guard. And we have in at running back Josh Potts, who may well get the handoff on this play. We will wait and see. Oh, we have a snap's gone on the ground, but Josh Potts on the ball. Is he going to be able to find space? Oh, great tackle there. Just shy of the end zone, so no good on the 2-point conversion. But we are seeing the Ravens.
Let's see if my microphone's back here and working with all the show.
Ravens are still up 22-0. So we're having some slight technical difficulties on the mic for Kenny, so we're just trying to sort those out. But if you cannot hear them, I deeply apologise. You are stuck with me for the intervening period until we get Kenny's dulcet tones back and ready for action. But with the ball starting in on the 20-yard line, the Bear-Nose will take over on offense as the Ravens look to
Let's see if my microphone is back in action.
slight testing there again. But we have, as I say, the Ravens looking to secure, I believe, their 4th turnover of the game on this play, or on this drive. I do hope that the Bear-Nose coach has drawn up something slightly different in the hopes of, I believe that's Mark, coach from the, oh no, that will be the coach from the Bears, whose name does unfortunately escape me. Trying to draw up something different to see if we can get the ball moving here for the Bear-Nose. I would like to see a bit more running plays. Unfortunately, we have seen some interceptions on the passes, but we will see what we draw up here as we approach 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line. New change at QB, we have number 28, who's, rush coming in from Reed on the sack. Reed has been an absolute monster there, taking down Luke Lord on the sack. Reed is single-handedly making his campaign for showcase defensive MVP, I would argue. But we have seen some great plays across, not to show too much bias towards the Ravens team that I have coached throughout the season, but an incredible play, no doubt, as we see here on the replay. Luke Lord, I think he spots him out the corner of his eye and is unfortunately able to escape as Reed chases him down from the front side on the sack, bringing up 2nd down and 13. As the Bears break, or the Bear-Nose break the huddle. See if we can get a confidence-boosting play here. See what Luke Lord's able to draw up. Have a pass, dropping back, pressure in. He's got a bit of space and time. Oh, he's gone the run on the right side, but we have defenders meeting here for, it looks like wrapped up for about a 3-yard gain. So again, taking a pass play, making it into a run play is young Luke Lord, who does need some adjustment on his pads, but is now all fixed up. We have the replay here from young Luke, who's able to break contain the right side, but 71, who has made that interception return, is able to meet him at the point and stop him for a 3-yard gain. Appears we have a timeout on the field as we continue to try and fix the technical difficulties here with the microphone. We have had some slightly extended timeouts today, mostly as a result of probably the hot weather, as we try to encounter what is supposedly 26-degree weather, but in fact feels much more like 32, as we see very few spectators actually spending any time in the sun.
I am officially back. Just give me a thumbs up. Yes, I have. And mate, if you thought you weren't gonna come in and go get thrown to the wolves here in the commentary world, mate, you've definitely swum rather than sung.
Well,
big shout out to Bart Foley on his commentary debut, working a little bit of overtime.
Yep, trying to commentate an empty field is always a tough ask, Kenny. But you know, you make do with what you got.
Well, in response, I will give your business a plug there. Play Flag Brisbane, a flag football competition, the 5-side flag football competition you've been running since the start of the year. I played there in season 1. A wonderful addition. And talk about developing the game and learning the skills. Obviously, flag football is one of the best ways to do that.
Absolutely.
Still based out of
Dorrington Park and Ashgrove, that's right. And I would love to see at some point in the future a youth flag football competition. I think that would really help seal out their development. Unfortunately, we're unable to offer that at this point in time, but certainly sometime in the future, someone somewhere, perhaps a play flag, will be able to facilitate that.
New season starting first week of January.
That's
Grand
correct,
finals
yeah.
being played just next week, I think.
Absolutely, Kenny is in the know. Grand final coming up for season 3 this Monday night.
Back to the action though, quickly. It's Kenner who's been a magic worker on defense. Somehow gets that ball away there out to Jet. Sang Jitfun. And a good job there from the Ravens defense. We all know what Jet can do once he hits the open field.
It's the Jets, no doubt, Fuzzy Kenny. And great play there by the quarterback, absolutely wrapped up and somehow finds a way to just get the pass off despite being held onto, as we're able to see here on the replay.
One of my favorite questions when I talk to coaches, particularly young players who are going to come through, when you've got a guy or a girl who can be effective in multiple positions, is where do you see their future? And it's obviously he's playing a bit of quarterback now, and by all means could develop into that, but if you're asking me, I really think linebacker is going to be where he shines.
Absolutely. I think that is the natural development for
Handoff here to
this
Jet.
Jets player.
Get onto him in a second. Here goes Jet. Running with some leverage, grabs the first down on a key 4th and 9.
We have some positive signs from the spectators here. We're loving to see Jet pick up the first down. So big confidence booster there from the Bearnos, as Jet, who had great pad height through contact and is able to avoid some of those arm tackles and get some leg drive going for a very important first down for the Bearnos in the second half there.
One thing you'll notice about Jet, even from the last time I saw him play there, has a little more forward lean to his run there. Obviously getting a little more accustomed to the contact and ways to effectively sort of put yourself in not only tackle breaking situations but also safety.
Absolutely. I think he has shown the most sort of physical and coordination development out of almost any player in this league, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing as he develops throughout the rest of his youth career and into his junior and adult career. Hopefully with still a love for the game and a desire to play as part of Gridiron Queensland.
First down and 10 here, Bearnos following that Sang Jitfun conversion. Kenner looking for the speed option, but will keep it himself, powering over the 35 now and ultimately tackled out of bounds around the Bearnos 32.
Great play there by Patrick, who's able to seal the edge despite the block coming in from the insides. Shows experience beyond his years, despite the fact, as I say, this is only his second game, and I think he's had only 2 training sessions. He's a real naturally gifted athlete and is able to make a great play despite the block coming in. So fine tackle to reduce it to a 3-yard gain, but a great run again.
So obviously competing on Sundays, all 4 teams, or eventually 2 teams, but now you mentioned training sessions. Are there organised training sessions throughout the week, throughout the junior, the youth division show, and is that vary per team or?
I don't actually know the numbers on how many training sessions each individual team does, but I know the Ravens have been training Tuesdays and Thursdays, and pre-season we're also on Saturdays, so up to 3 training sessions a week, or at this point during the season, 2 training sessions plus a game or a tournament series, as the Sunday games are.
2nd and 6 here for the Bearnos. Kind of drops back, looks right, and then a big screen set up to the left, and the pass falls incomplete there. The intended receiver, Cameron Hansen.
So that was young man Cody on the throw, Kobe Kenner, to Cameron Hansen. Unfortunately, the ball did go to ground, but a good play call there. Had a bit of space, had a bit of time. Just unfortunately was not able to secure the catch.
And here on 3rd down, it looks like the Ravens have taken their first team timeout here in the second half.
Once again, we'll see how long plays off the field. Certainly a need to keep hydrated and out of the sun. That was my last advice to the fellas before I took off for the commentary booth, was stay out of the sun and keep hydrated. Now, no doubt, the rest of the coaching staff and parents will be relaying the same message on, as I would say, a very, very warm day. And we are approaching the Sun Bowl.
Yes, well, quite frankly, we have had December Sun Bowls before, though I think the last time we had it, though, was the first week. I think it was the 3rd of December. At the time, this, by my count, at least in the live stream era, is the latest calendar Sun Bowl we've had in the live stream era. So certainly living up to its name, but as hot as it gets, I think we're all glad to see the sun out and not being constantly on Sky Watch there, wondering if this game is going to be delayed or, dare I say, cancelled.
Well, hopefully no one's going to be bringing up the bomb radar, as in the Bureau of Meteorology radar today. It looks like there's no risk of
Quite
rain.
frankly, we don't want either radar.
Any radar.
And one's a little more likely than the other.
Anything particularly threatening to the existence of this game and anyone's life would be preferably just kept out of today.
Indeed, indeed.
The Ravens, ready for action, have returned to the ball as the Bearnos slowly approach for third down.
For some reason our scoreboard has 2 points there from the Bearnos there. I think a 2-point conversion went a little wayward on the sheet there.
May well have been due to the confusion around the touchback from earlier, but I do not wish to comment.
Yeah, well, as far as we understand, it was a touchback, not a safety. And they tried that, funny you say that, they tried that exact play here.
Inside handoff.
That's a handoff to Luke Lord. And that will only garner maybe an inch or two, if that. And
It's back to the line of scrimmage from my angle.
fourth down.
Fourth down and 5 or 6 yards here. The Ravens defense has been truly impressive, as impressive as the Bearnos defense. In fact, both teams' defense have been incredibly impressive, but the ability to stop the outside run has been a key for all teams this season. There hasn't been a lot of runs up the middle, so the ability to keep contain and chase down players has been extremely crucial throughout the season. And with the athleticism that you'll see on the Ravens defense, that has been a real telling sign of today's game.
So here we are on a fourth down situation. No punts here in the youth showcase today. And a bad snap is doubled down by a difficult handle. And of course, Reed Tulloch's there to cause some havoc. And that'll be a turnover on downs here. And the Ravens will be gifted some solid field position here. It looks approximately around their own 30.
Once again, Reed just showing the class act that he is, as we can see here on the replay. Reed is able to just come straight through the middle. Couldn't quite see what happened on the blocking there, but it just totally disrupts the play and forces the turnover on downs. Very, very talented player, Reed, and I would say that this has been his highlight performance of the season that we've come to expect. Well, we haven't quite come to expect it. We have, just a fantastic performance all around from Reed.
Yeah, he certainly likes the bright lights. Of course, the bright lights right now provided by our very own son.
Those UV rays are giving him the energy he needs.
Natural light. So,
and I think, Kenny, with the fact that they don't have to play a 3-game format over an extended number of hours, you'll see a lot of players with a higher level of energy and able to sort of compete at with more intensity than they otherwise normally would, considering they play 3 games of 40 minutes each, usually on a Sunday. This is one game, and really is a walk in the park for them compared to their previous fixtures.
All right. Again, the quarterback rotation continues. I'm assuming that was a toss play there. No, it went forward there. I think Barbara Johnson on the far sideline is signaling incomplete.
Big break there for the Ravens. A lucky break, you would say. Getting the incomplete pass rather than the fumble, as it was probably designed to be a toss play to the right-hand side. Just a bit of inexperience and miscommunication. Oh yeah, just doesn't see it coming. We have some fantastic slow-mo replay.
What I think there might have been a confusion there. I think the fullback was supposed to be at lead blocking. I think it's actually the running back
I think he might
was
be
supposed
right,
to get the ball there. I think the quarterback might have accidentally confused their backs around. So I think that might have been the situation. And of course, that's part of the learning experience in youth division football.
When you say halfback, when you mean fullback, when you mean fullback, when you say halfback, you never know.
Exactly right. Eli Rivers, they forego the toss play here and just give it to the big man. And there he is, backing his way to the 15.
Great hold on there by number 24 from the Rhinos, Levi Hendy, who's able to wrap him up, as I think it was Luke Lord who's able to finish him off up top and keep him from advancing as the whistle is blown by the refs.
If we were talking about potential defensive MVPs of the showcase there, obviously Reed Tulloch and, in my opinion, Kenner as well is also in contention.
Absolutely.
Pretty easy to spot out an offensive one right now.
That's for sure. Well, yes, Eli Rivers has been full steam ahead, running for that MVP candidacy. And Kobe Kenner, I would say, has been probably the most impressive all-round.
Rivers are flowing again.
Rivers are flowing again.
Oh, wait, that was the replay.
That was the replay.
Oh, as we start now, will they give it back to Rivers? Not after a bit of tunnel ball. And the
We
Stingrays quarterback drops down on the ball here.
For second down now, and quite long. It's about 17.
Jackson Guyler.
Jackson Guyler able to get on top of it after the low snap. So he has to make that play. Didn't have much of a choice, so he got on top of the ball. And sometimes that just happens in youth football. Not everything always goes to plan. With
some of this happens in senior football as well, mate.
Across all formats. That's the nature of life. Things don't always go to plan. Good snap on this.
19. Oh, look at this. An interesting screen set up here by the Stingrays, and the pass caught there by, was that Sebastian? Making the catch, and unfortunately can't do a whole lot with it. I think he got back to the original line of scrimmage.
What we've seen, I think, is a real inability to use pace and speed sometimes by these offensive players because of the quality and the athleticism of defensive players. You can see the cornerback advancing on the far side to be able to just shut him down. A really good play there by the far side corner, whose number and name, unfortunately, I can't quite identify, but very, very high quality technique, absolutely reducing the time and space that Sebastian had there on the short screenplay.
Long way to go here on third down. Surely they just look to grab some of that back here. They had a speed option, kind of went a little inverted here, but it doesn't matter because it is the longest touchdown on offense today. A score there to the Stingrays, number 28, Parker Spires.
Arthur Spires just figuring out that the pass option wasn't on and just runs it up the left side. Couldn't quite tell if that was a speed option play or not. In fact, we'll be able to tell in the replay. It does look like he's just made up. No, it is a rollout play, which he just decides to run with it and is able to secure the block there. Helping out securing the block was Bailey, taking out two defenders it seems before being pushed to ground himself, but secures that block on the left side to help young Spires score the touchdown.
So outside of a pick six, I think it's actually been all quarterback scores, hasn't it?
That's about
Believe
right.
Believe it or not, Rivers hasn't scored a touchdown yet.
The Rivers are on dry about 5 yards out, unfortunately.
Nice. First down, well, sorry, shall I say, 2-point conversion upcoming. I don't know if that's an intended motion. We'll call it one. And this will be a handoff there. This time Fergus taking a sojourn out to the left-hand pylon and getting over and adding 2 points.
And that's a big pickup for Fergus. His favourite position is indeed running back, and he's been able to get in there and secure the 2-point conversion. So massive confidence booster for him. Comes up clutching his right side, but I think he will be able to soldier on this game. Get a replay here.
Fergus Martin just putting their speed on, and quite frankly, I mean, in all levels of football, speed kills. In the nine-a-side format, especially so.
Absolutely. With this nine-a-side on a full field, the ability to beat your opponents to the outside is a real telling factor. And when you can't stop it, you can't stop it, I'm afraid.
So, first down and 10 here. The Banos looking for a bit of action themselves. I've got to wonder if they've got any more creative ways to get the ball to Jet, saying Jitfin.
My thoughts indeed, Kenny. If they're able to... Jet will make a play out of nothing, whether you hand the ball off to him or just chuck it up to him. They've just got to figure a way to get the ball in his hands and see if they can make a play, because no doubt he could take it at any point in time, from the 20, from the 30, from the 40, wherever he is on the field. I've seen it happen throughout the season, and he is the go-to weapon, I would argue, on first down and 10 here. One of the traditions of the youth game is that the huddles take slightly longer, especially on offense, and that's just because a bit of unfamiliarity, bit of not quite, especially with new players and new teams and new coaches. Just putting people in position becomes a very important part of the game. So you'll see that this huddle is probably approximately already hit what would be in the men's game, a 40-second huddle, but in the youth format, we sort of give a bit of leniency around that.
Indeed. Well, looks like they're up and ready to go there. Having the coach in the huddle is also not something that's too unfamiliar to Gridiron Queensland. Back in the early days, 7-a-side days, you actually had the same thing happen in registered games in the junior division. Ball is up for grabs and incomplete after they're a bit up there. Gazali happening.
Goodness me, Jet coming in and almost making the play. Unfortunately, with 3 men in front of him, couldn't quite secure it. But young Kobe was under serious pressure as he rolls out to his right side. Is able to evade a couple tackles and just kind of just puts it up there on the incomplete pass.
And as we look at there, I'm just trying to just go back to my conversation there of coaches being there during the huddle and whatnot. I think I have memories of Andy Miller for the then-known Northside Rhinos doing that during the early days of the Rhinos youth program.
Oddly enough, not only was the coach throughout the season been on the field on offense, but also on defense.
And it's just a way to go there to maximise production on field and development on field.
And also, frankly, just calling the plays and putting them in position. That's just it becomes quite crucial, especially with when someone's first time. You just got to help them out when they're young, when they're a little inexperienced. You just got to put them in the right spot.
Well, just to put a comparison, we've seen a lot of times in the men's division this year, a couple of teams having to go down to their third, fourth, fifth quarterbacks there, and the same thing goes on. They go into the huddle, and it's all a bit overwhelming. There's a lot of verbiage that needs to be communicated for everyone to do their part. It can be quite the task there for a young quarterback, so it just makes sense to be able to have the coaches on the field. And this is Kenner. Out there running speed option, it keeps the ball, tucks it under arm and breaks into the open field. Still breaking tackles and getting this just shy of halfway here for the Rhinos.
Shades of Le'Veon Bell buying his time as he rolls out to the left-hand side and up the sideline. I was at first confused by his decision making. As you can see him sort of on this play now, he turns on the jets and hits the sideline. Is able to shake off arm tackles before making, in excess of a 20-yard run.
Thought he would use Luke Lord for a hot second there, and realised he could do it all himself. A timeout has been taken, I believe, by the Rhinos.
And I would argue, if we could plan again, having quarter times and drinks breaks regularly, this may just be a smart time to take a drinks break for all players on the field who are no doubt feeling the heat.
I'll be honest, I won't be surprised if in the later games, and certainly in the Ghost games, I think we're going to have a drink break every second play, if we're honest.
I would encourage the Ghosts to take a sip whenever they can.
And but even for the juniors and men's, I wouldn't be surprised if the officials come together and decide to make an official drinks break, which has certainly happened many a time.
We are witness on the sideline here to one of the Bears players who is escaping the heat by wearing a tutu as a neck covering, which is an innovative and very effective, I would say, sun covering.
Got to beat the heat however you can. I think that is Malika Lancaster. I think that's Laura's daughter there.
There's serious glam on the sideline here. We have, oh no, they've unfortunately dropped the props. No chance to pan to the...
Renee Berry as well was getting involved with some... I think was that cheerleader tassels.
Those are cheerleader tassels. The most action we've seen on the sideline all game.
And Byrne is putting on a show for the crowd.
Firing up the troops, no doubt.
Oh, I don't know if we'll get that on camera. He's a little too short, but he's doing the Macarena right now on the sideline. Yeah. That's number 54, Finian O'Byrne.
Some charisma seen.
Outstanding. As we get back to the on-field play, it's Kenner again. Cody Kenner. Handled there from the Gold Coast Stingrays and Bayside Ravens defenders.
Looks like he's coming up, holding his left knee, unfortunately. Kobe has been, as we've already mentioned, a standout in today's game, so it'll be very sad to see him go down. Tradition of the youth format is taking a knee until the player's recovered, and it looks like he's already back up on his feet. But he's being encouraged by officials and coaches to perhaps take a play off. But no, he soldiers on.
We might take a look at that play again there. Sadie Singh was just checking in there that Kobe Kenner, I might have called him Cody a couple of times this game, my apologies, but he was okay.
No doubt the game plan right now is get it in Kobe's hands, and okay, no, he is being now sent off the field. Hopefully just a short respite. He does look to be moving just fine, so as we have on the replay here, Kobe with the ball. Hoping to set up some blocks and some great chase down. Now again, just that athleticism of the Ravens defense, able to secure that edge. Patrick and company able to take him out, but helped out there by number 23 from the Stingrays, who It's been a real inspiration for some of the troops, especially in pre-game, trying to get the boys fired up, trying to build a sense of team amongst the Stingrays and the Ravens, or the Ravens, probably is the pronunciation. But has been a real asset to trying to make it feel like a team, despite the fact throughout the season they've naturally been competing on their own teams.
It's not an easy task at times, but you do the best you can. Second down, and it looks like to me about 13 yards. Ball is currently on the Rhinos 40.
We have a very deep safety here by the Stingrays. I don't know if they're expecting a punt, but curious alignment, just on the edge of screen.
It's Charlie White lined up all the way back on the L of the Queensland logo, and under pressure extremely, and is that a Ravens duo getting in there, Patrick and Reed getting in there and taking down the quarterback there, Luke Lord.
Just a real show of dominance in this case by Reed, just blitzing straight through the middle, and Patrick, who's comes out of nowhere, true athlete, is able to track him down. Now it looks like we have another break on the field.
We might be reaching the end of the third quarter here, I think.
Unless have we reached full time?
Well, we didn't see the teams swap sides, if that's the case, but due to a few things there and time constraints, I should say, and I'm just looking at the time there.
Looks like they're walking to halfway, which is the traditional sign of full time. As Jet leads out the Rhinos on the traditional handshake at halfway.
Yeah, there it is. I just realised the time there, 10:44. Ghost set to kick off at 11 a.m. So whilst we will leave you with the pictures of the two teams, or the four teams really, shaking hands here and celebrating a wonderful year that has been a youth division of football, we thank you for joining us here for the start of Sun Bowl Saturday there. I hope you enjoyed witnessing some future stars of Gridiron Queensland. Kenny and Jersey thanking Bart Foley here for joining us and talking us through and giving them the insight to the youth division, mate.
It's been a pleasure, Kenny. It's always good to first chance you and I have had a chance to commentate. It's been an absolute pleasure from my end. So credit to you and credit to the folks from who were able to stream this game. And just a great day all around for youth football.
Indeed. A big knowledge to all the volunteers, coaches and parents who've made the youth division happen here, and we certainly hope the youth division goes strength to strength in 22 and beyond. Stay tuned, 11 a.m. we'll be kicking off the Goldie Oldies, the Ghosts of Gridiron game, the 10th annual Ghosts of Gridiron charity match-up here between the retired over 35-year-olds here. I'm going to take a quick break and get a lozenge in there. Stay tuned, we've got 3 more games of Gridiron Queensland at Sun Bowl Saturday action coming your way.